A charming young man, desperate for a life of luxury, marries a fragile, elderly millionaire widow, only to have his entire world flipped upside down when she reveals a secret so shocking it leaves him frozen, speechless, and forever transformed. His name was Alex Thompson, 28, handsome, talented, but broke. An artist whose paintings gathered dust while his bank account gathered overdraft fees. Late one night, scrolling through dating profiles of the ultra-wealthy, he found her, Elena Vanderbilt, 82 years old, silver-haired, worth $500 million, and openly searching for companionship. The words on her profile glowed like gold. Money is no object for the right heart. Alex didn't see a lonely woman. He saw freedom, private jets, oceanfront homes, never worrying about rent again. He messaged her, turned on every ounce of charm he had, and within weeks they were dating. He listened to her stories, held her hand, brought her flowers, and pretended her wrinkled skin and slow steps didn't bother him at all. 6 months later, under crystal chandeliers in a cathedral by the sea, he slipped a ring on her trembling finger and promised forever. Inside, he was already counting the years until the inheritance. They moved into her hilltop mansion, 20 bedrooms, infinity pool, marble floors that echoed with every step. Alex played the perfect husband. Breakfast in bed, gentle kisses on her forehead, long drives along the coast. But the moment her bedroom door closed, he was on his phone with Mia, his real girlfriend, the fiery 25-year-old who knew the entire plan. "Just hold on a little longer, babe," he whispered into late-night calls. "Soon we'll have everything." Mia laughed, told him to be patient, sent photos that kept his greed burning hot. Elena showered him with gifts, a gleaming sports car, designer clothes, black credit cards with no limit. She spoke softly about her late husband, how empty the mansion felt without love. Alex nodded, smiled, and felt nothing. He even started planning little ways to wear her down faster. Long walks she couldn't handle, late nights that exhausted her fragile body. Anything to speed up nature, but something started to feel off. Elena's steps grew steadier when she thought no one was watching. Her skin looked brighter under the makeup. Her energy never seemed to fade the way it should. Alex pushed the thoughts away. Rich people have the best doctors, the best creams, he told himself. Still, guilt began creeping in at the edges. When he painted her portrait late at night, he caught himself lingering on the kindness in her eyes. He hated that feeling. It complicated everything. One evening over candlelit dinner, his phone buzzed. Mia, sending something spicy. He excused himself, replied in the bathroom, heart racing. When he returned, Elena was watching him with a quiet, knowing look. "Everything okay, darling?" she asked. He lied smoothly, kissed her cheek, and changed the subject. The lies piled higher. He invited Mia to the mansion when Elena took her afternoon nap upstairs. Stolen moments in the guest suite, breathless promises of the future. One night, a faint creak on the stairs stopped them cold. Alex's pulse thundered. Had she heard? Paranoia took root. He noticed strange things. Her medicine cabinet full of vitamins instead of prescriptions, hushed phone calls to her lawyer about tests, and the final reveal. He told himself he was imagining it. Then Elena announced a surprise trip to her private island. "Just the two of us," she said with a playful smile that didn't match her age. Alex agreed instantly. Perfect chance to push her limits. Maybe a swim too far, a hike too steep. On the plane, she took his hand and whispered, "I know why you married me, Alex." His stomach dropped. "You do," he managed. She squeezed his fingers gently. "For love, of course." He laughed in relief, but the unease stayed. The island was paradise. White sand, turquoise water, no one around for miles. That first night, under a blanket of stars, Elena talked about trust. "My husband left me everything because he believed in me," she said. "But real trust has to be earned, doesn't it?" Alex swallowed hard and nodded. He texted Mia a photo of the villa. "This will all be ours soon." The next day, Elena kicked off her shoes and danced barefoot on the beach. Movements smooth, strong, almost youthful. Alex watched from the shade, confused. She called him to join her. He pretended to have a headache. That evening, while she showered, he searched her suitcase and found a locked diary. He pried it open. The pages made his blood turn to ice. Testing Alex's heart. Does he see me or only my money? The investigator confirmed the affair, but I still hope. He stormed into the bedroom, holding the diary. Elena stood there in a robe, eyes filling with tears. "You knew," he shouted. "You knew the whole time?" She nodded slowly. "I wanted to believe there was good in you." Rage and shame exploded out of him. You think I could love you? You're old. It was always the money. The words echoed across the villa. Elena's face crumpled. She turned away, shoulders shaking with silent sobs. Alex spent the night on the beach, waves crashing like accusations. For the first time, he saw her clearly, not as a paycheck, but as a person who had trusted him anyway. Memories flooded in. Her gentle laugh when he brought her tea, the way she applauded his paintings even when they were mediocre, the loneliness in her voice when she spoke of her past. His phone lit up with messages from Mia. Come on, baby, stick to the plan, but they felt empty now. He deleted everyone. Dawn broke pink and gold over the ocean as he walked back to the villa and knocked softly on her door. Elena, please. She opened it, eyes swollen from crying. He fell to his knees. I was wrong. About everything. I was empty inside and thought money would fix it. But you gave me kindness even when I didn't deserve it. Tears ran down his face. Elena listened, face unredable. Then she reached out and touched his cheek. I was greedy once too long ago. People can change if they want to. She let him in. They talked until the sun was high, raw, painful, honest. Alex promised to end things with Mia that day. Elena looked at him for a long moment, then whispered, prove it. Back home, Alex called Mia and ended it for good. Her screams echoed through the phone, accusations of betrayal, but he hung up and blocked her number. Something inside him finally felt light. He threw himself into being the husband he should have been from the start, cooking Elena's favorite meals, framing his best paintings for her, sitting with her in the garden, just listening. Slowly, incredibly, the frail Elena he'd married began to change before his eyes. She set aside the walker more often. She walked taller. Her laughter came easier. Alex noticed, but he no longer questioned it. He was too busy falling for the woman she truly was, wise, warm, and endlessly patient. Their evenings filled with quiet joy, shared stories, soft touches, genuine smiles. For the first time, Alex painted with passion that critics noticed. Galleries called, offers came in, and through it all, Elena watched him with cautious hope. Then the illness struck. Sudden coughing fits, weakness, endless doctor visits. Alex's heart shattered. He stayed by her side through every appointment, held her hand during tests, read to her when she was too tired to speak. He rearranged his entire life around her comfort. Tabloids exploded when Mia sold her story. Gold digger's secret affair exposed. Elena saw the headlines and turned to him in bed, voice fragile. Is it true? Alex didn't lie this time. He told her everything, voice breaking. It was true, but not anymore. I love you, Elena, the real you. Please forgive me. She searched his eyes, then pulled him close. Love means second chances, she whispered. They faced the storm together, closer than ever. Months passed. Her condition worsened. Doctors spoke in grim tones. Alex stopped sleeping, stopped eating, lived only to make her days brighter. One stormy night, thunder shaking the mansion, Elena called him to her bedside. Alex, she said weakly, there's something I need to show you. He took her hand, terrified this was goodbye. She reached for tissues and makeup remover, wiping slowly at her face. Layer by layer, wrinkles vanished. Silver hair was a wig. She pulled it off to reveal rich auburn waves. She stood from the bed without help, tall and strong. Alex stared, mouth open, unable to breathe. I'm not 82, she said softly. I'm 52. Everything, the age, the frailty, was a disguise. Prosthetics, makeup, acting. After my husband died, every man who came near me wanted the money. So I created a test. Only someone who could love the person beneath the fortune would pass. Alex's knees buckled. He sank to the floor, tears streaming. You tricked me? She knelt beside him, eyes shining. I did. You failed at first. But then you changed. When you thought I was dying, you loved me anyway. That was the man I've been waiting for. Laughter mixed with sobs as the truth sank in. Relief flooded him. She was healthy, vibrant, alive. Anger flickered, then faded under overwhelming love. He pulled her into his arms. You're insane, he whispered against her hair. And brilliant. She smiled. The real smile he now saw was breathtaking. Now we start over. For real this time. Days later, on the same beach where he'd once schemed, Alex got down on one knee with a simple band. Marry me again, Elena. Not for money. For us. Tears sparkled in her eyes as she said yes. Their second wedding was small, Just them, the ocean, and vows that finally meant everything. Years flew by in a blur of true happiness. Alex's art soared, no longer fueled by desperation, but by love. They traveled, volunteered, built a life rich in meaning rather than just dollars. They adopted a little girl with Elena's eyes and Alex's smile. The mansion filled with laughter instead of silence. At charity events, they spoke quietly about second chances, never revealing the full story, but inspiring countless couples all the same. On quiet evenings, Elena would tease, "Remember when you thought I was old?" Alex would grin and pull her close. Best shock of my life. Their love, forged through deception, tested by greed, and redeemed by truth, became the kind people write songs about. And Alex knew, without a doubt, that the greatest fortune he ever gained wasn't money at all. Alex came back from the island a different man. The moment he ended things with Mia for good, something shifted inside him. He blocked her number, deleted every photo, and turned all his attention to Elena. He cooked her favorite dishes from scratch, rearranged the garden so she could sit in the sunlight longer, and spend hours listening to her stories without glancing at his phone once. Elena watched him carefully at first, waiting for the mask to slip again, but it never did. Day by day, her guarded smiles turned genuine. She started leaving the walker in the corner. Her steps grew surer. Her laughter rang louder through the mansion halls. Alex noticed every change, but he didn't question it. He was too busy discovering how much he truly enjoyed her company. Her sharp wit, her endless kindness, the way she made him feel seen for the first time in years. His paintings changed too. The colors became bolder, the strokes more confident. Galleries that had ignored him for years suddenly called with offers. Critics wrote about a new depth, a soul that wasn't there before. Elena attended every opening by his side, beaming with quiet pride. For the first time, Alex felt success that didn't come from scheming. It came from being honest, from pouring his heart onto canvas. Their evenings became sacred. Long talks on the terrace, her head on his shoulder, fingers intertwined as they watched the city lights below. He no longer dreamed of escaping. He dreamed of staying. Then the darkness came. Elena began coughing, deep, rattling sounds that terrified him. She grew pale, tired easily, spent more time in bed. Doctors ran tests, spoke in hushed tones, scheduled treatments. Alex canceled everything to be with her. He drove her to every appointment, held her hand through scans and infusions, read aloud from her favorite books when her eyes were too weary. He learned how to adjust her pillows just right, how to make broth she could keep down, how to sit in silence when words failed. Fear gnawed at him constantly. This time, the guilt was different, not for what he'd done, but for how much he stood to lose now that he finally loved her. The tabloid struck at the worst moment. Mia, bitter and vengeful, sold her story. Headlines screamed about the secret affair, the gold-digging husband, the poor, dying widow. Paparazzi camped outside the gates. Elena saw the papers one morning and looked at Alex with eyes full of pain. "Tell me the truth," she whispered, voice barely above the machines beeping beside her bed. He didn't hesitate. He told her everything. Every lie, every stolen moment, every cold calculation from the beginning. Tears rolled down his cheeks as he begged for forgiveness he knew he didn't deserve. Elena listened without interrupting. When he finished, she reached for his hand, weak but steady. "Second chances are rare," she said softly. "Don't waste this one." She forgave him, just like that. And somehow, that forgiveness bound them tighter than any vow ever had. As weeks turned to months, her condition worsened. Doctors gave timelines Alex refused to hear. He slept in the chair beside her bed, woke at every cough, lived for every small smile she managed. He painted less and less, pouring all his energy into making her comfortable, into proving his love was real. One stormy night, lightning flashing through the windows, Elena called him close. Her voice was faint but clear. "Come here, my love. There's something I need to show you." Alex's heart pounded with dread. This was it, he thought. The goodbye. He sat on the edge of the bed, taking her hand, bracing himself. Elena reached for the nightstand, picked up makeup remover wipes, and began wiping her face slowly, deliberately. Layer by layer, deep lines vanished. Creased skin smoothed into softness. She removed the silver wig, letting rich auburn hair fall loose around her shoulders. Contacts came out next, revealing bright, clear eyes. She pushed herself up. No weakness, no tremor, and stood tall beside the bed. Alex stared, frozen, mouth open, unable to process what he was seeing. The woman before him was vibrant, strong, breathtakingly beautiful, and decades younger than the wife he thought he'd married. "I'm 52, she said calmly, voice no longer frail. "Not 82. Everything you saw, the wrinkles, the walker, the trembling hands, was makeup, prosthetics, a performance. After my husband died, every man who approached me wanted the money. I got tired of never knowing who loved me and who loved my bank account. So I created the ultimate test. Only someone capable of seeing past the fortune and past the disguise could win my heart." She stepped closer, eyes searching his. "You failed spectacularly at first, but then you changed. When you thought I was dying, you loved me anyway. You chose me over everything. That's the man I've been waiting for my whole life." Alex couldn't speak. Shock, relief, joy, and a flicker of anger crashed through him all at once. Tears spilled as he sank to his knees, then surged up to pull her into his arms. "You absolute mad woman," he choked out, laughing and crying against her hair. "You terrified me. I thought I was losing you." She held him tight, laughing too, the sound young and free. "I had to know," she whispered. "And now I do." The days that followed were pure magic. Elena, real, uncovered Elena, danced through the mansion with energy Alex had only glimpsed before. They walked the beach at sunrise, hand in hand, no pretense between them. He proposed again on that same private island, down on one knee in the sand, offering a simple ring he'd bought with his own earnings. "Marry me for real this time," he said. "No games. Just us." Her yes came with happy tears and a kiss that felt like the beginning of everything. Their life together became the kind people envy. Alex's career exploded, fueled by love instead of desperation. They traveled, not for luxury, but for connection. They volunteered at orphanages, built schools, used their wealth to lift others. They adopted a bright-eyed little girl who filled the mansion with giggles and sticky fingerprints. At charity galas, they moved through crowds as partners, equals, inseparable. On quiet nights, Elena would tease him. "Still can't believe I pulled it off, can you?" Alex would grin and kiss her. Best plot twist of my life. Years later, on the anniversary of that stormy revelation night, Alex unveiled a new portrait. Elena as she truly was, radiant and strong, eyes full of mischief and love. She cried when she saw it. He pulled her close and whispered the words he now lived by. "I married you thinking I wanted money. But the real fortune was you, all of you, surprising me when I needed it most." Their love, born from deception, tested by truth, and sealed by choice, became unbreakable. And Alex knew, without a doubt, that no inheritance on earth could ever compare to the woman who shocked him into becoming the best version of himself.